In this video, I will be sharing my very first experience planning a music video for myself. So if you're curious to know what it's like planning a music video for the very first time all by yourself, then just keep watching. I won't let it start, I won't let no fear. No, I can let it start, I won't let it start, I will have no fear. Hey, welcome back to Melly Isha TV. Thank you so much for tuning in. If this is your first time here, I am Melly Isha, and on this channel, I talk about fashion, fitness, my faith, and music. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if so, please consider subscribing so you don't miss future episodes. So let's get right into this video. Okay, so I just took a shower and I'm gonna be doing my makeup. So this is a little get ready with me / story time. I washed my face in the shower, so I'm gonna start off with this vitamin A and glycolic acid toner. Okay, so about this music video business. Okay, so back in July, when I released my song, I believe I released it on like July 23rd or something. I ordered my outfits online, so kind of right after I dropped my song, I kind of already knew and had decided that I was going to drop a music video for this song, I Cannot Fear. And then for the next couple months after that, I just continued to do research on different videographers, so like for about 2 months. So end of July and then all of August, I was kind of just considered using videographers I had already worked with in the past, so kind of researching what their price points were and everything. So my budget was kind of like about $500. That's all I really wanted to spend on the video, just because it was my first video, and I figured the further I got along, the more I could invest in myself. But I'm like, this is just the first video, I don't have to go all out, you know, just kind of start where I'm at. It's not like I'm super well known and have a huge audience or anything yet, so I didn't want to put too much money in. Like, you know, I just wanted to kind of stay at my level. I didn't want to go above my level of where I'm at. So now I'm going to do some rose water mist. This is witch hazel with aloe vera, and so kind of moisturize with that a little bit, let that dry. I considered using videographers that my peers had already used. Also, I was going on Instagram and just looking at the hashtag like ATL videographers and stuff like that. So just kind of browsing through there. I hit up a few people on Instagram to kind of get their rates and everything and see what it was looking like. And my husband was also helping me try and find videographers on Instagram. And yeah, it was just like a whole process, and it was kind of stressful, and I was kind of over it. So I was just like, after a while, I kind of left out my husband to try and find somebody for me, because I was just like, so over it. People were either out of my price range or just weren't responding, or, you know, stuff like that. I'm moisturizing with, I'm going to show you the bottle in just a second. So this is also Derma E. This is the anti-wrinkle renewal cream. It has vitamin E in it, and it's 100% vegan. Yeah, so I was just getting like super stressed and overwhelmed. I ended up doing, as you guys know, if you've been following me on this journey and watched my video, I ended up doing a music video for Tobias Tate. I was a video model in his music video for I Remember, and Ray was shooting the video, Ray and Will Thomas. So I was like, you know what, maybe I'll just talk to them. So I ended up talking to them on set. Well, Ray specifically, I spoke to him because, you know, my peers had used him in the past, and I was like, you know what, what's your schedule looking like? You know, basically trying to figure out what I could get for my budget and when he would be available. But he was already kind of booked for the next 2 months. So this was back in, it was either end of August, beginning of September. Yeah, it was like end of August. And yeah, he said that he was booked pretty much through October. So yeah, he was out of the question. I was like, I know if I can't afford Ray, I definitely can't afford Will Thomas. At least not what I was wanting to spend for this video, right? I'm just putting on a translucent powder. This one is by Mary Kay. So anyways, at the beginning of September, after I realized, you know what, who I wanted to use, I wasn't gonna be able to go with Ray or Will or anything, go back through my list of people, and then I completely forgot about this one videographer I had worked with for a t-shirt brand. I was a model for the t-shirt brand, and he was the videographer for the project. And I was like, you know what, he's super dope, and I had kind of forgotten about him. So I hit him up on Instagram Instagram. I want to say it was like, I reached out to him September 8th, and I told him what my budget was, if that was going to be able to work out, and when he was available. And he said yes, that he was available and he could work with my budget. And I was like, okay, cool. So finally things were coming together. Thank goodness. I'm gonna go throw on some primer. This is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus coconut water, or coconut primer water. Kind of overdo it sometimes. I just like my face to be super moisturized. I hate crusty looking skin under makeup. So yeah, that was finally coming together. I reached out to him on September 8th. I didn't want to book a date yet because I still had to book a dance choreographer, because I knew I wanted to do a little dance sequence in the video. So I had to reach out to some dancers, but I didn't know any personally. So I reached out to one of my friends and asked them like, hey, can you send me some dancers? Because I knew this person knew some dancers. Left me on red, like didn't respond to me. So I'm like, fine. A day or two later, I reach out to one of my homegirls, which I knew she knew some dancers as well. And I'm like, hey, can you send me the profiles of some dancers? She wasn't answering. She left me on red. I'm like, okay. You know, I get impatient when people don't answer, and I don't like to repeat myself or go back and forth or like keep trying. I'm like, whatever, I'm gonna figure this out myself. So I reached out to one more person, and this girl came through. She came through, sent me a profile of some dancers. Oh wait, before I reached out to this girl, I was speaking to a photographer and told him how I was looking for some dancers, and he said he knew some dancers. So he sent me a profile of 3 to 4 girls, and I reached out to 1 or 2 of them. I reached out to the one girl on September 9th, and she was taking forever to get back to me. Like, I messaged her on September 9th, and I don't think she got back to me until like the 11th or 12th. And so I was just like getting so impatient and frustrated. Like, why is nobody answering me? Why is this just not working out? Like, you know, it just feels like everything is going against you. Like, maybe it's a sign and it's just not working out. So it was just one of those things. So yeah, it was just so stressful and frustrating. I'm just putting on a primer now. Water drop primer. I'm actually using what's left of my cucumber one, and I just felt like it just kept getting delayed, and it's already September. I dropped the song, and I released the song back in July, and I'm like, you know, you just want to get something done so you can move on to the next song or project. It was one of those things, and I didn't want my video to be like so far from the release of my song. I wanted to just keep the momentum going, but you know, it just didn't work out that way. Okay, so my earring just broke on me, so I just threw on some other earrings, and okay, I'm back. So yeah, from the time that I reached out to the videographer that I did end up using to the time that my girl got back to me with a dancer, it was about 3 days. So I think it was like September 11th when she finally got back to me about a dancer. So I reached out to the girl, and I was speaking to another dancer at the same time. The girl my friend referred me to, and then another dancer that the photographer had referred me to had finally gotten back to me, like I said, about 3 days later, and she gave me her rate. And then the girl my friend referred to me gave me her rate, and the girl I ended up going with was actually a higher rate, but she was saved, and I had seen her in action before because she had did the choreography for my friend's video as well. So I kind of felt like we had already built a relationship, even though we hadn't, but you know, I just felt better about choosing her. And yeah, so I ended up choosing her, Deja. I think it's pronounced Deja and not Deja. Hopefully I'm saying it right. So I ended up going with her. Sweet girl. She's young and married. I think she's like 24 or something. And she goes to the church that my husband was going to before COVID closed everything down and everything. So yeah, I just kind of felt good about that decision, even though she was a little bit more expensive. So on 9/11, she confirmed that she would be available the 3rd of October. So I got back to my videographer, make sure that was gonna work for him, and it did. So both of them were gonna be available for October 3rd. I was hoping to be able to get at least 3 to 4 weeks of practice for the dance choreography, but she wasn't gonna be available to give me my first lesson until the following week. She was already booked for the week of the 13th. So our first practice wasn't until September 21st, which only gave me a total of 2 rehearsals before the actual recording day. So we practiced the choreography for the first time on September 22nd. And then we had a second rehearsal on September 29th. And then the video was that weekend on October 3rd. I don't know how. I actually learned the dance. I really did. I knew it, but because I'm not naturally a dancer, it was like, I knew it in my head, but when it came to like the pressure, like performing in front of people, then I would like go blank here and there. Performing, it was another story. But anyways, I learned the choreography. We were good. Rehearsal went fine. I think I'll add some clips of the behind the scenes of the rehearsal, or what the choreography looked like, in this video. First rehearsal was kind of hard. I was beating myself up. I hadn't danced in years, if you even consider like Zumba dancing. But no, I do Latin dancing, but it had been a long time since I'd done that as well. So yeah, I hadn't danced in forever. Learning a choreography, I felt really stiff, and like, you know, whenever something's kind of new or fresh or like out of the norm for you, a little bit out of your comfort zone, it was just like, I was super stressed. I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna get this. But by the time we came to the second rehearsal, I had already memorized the choreography. So I was feeling a little bit more confident, but yeah, I was still kind of just a little stiff or whatever. I would go blank here and there, but I knew the moves. Okay, so this video was getting a little too long for my liking, so please stay tuned for part 2. I know this was an awkward way to end this video, but bear with me. Part 2 will be coming shortly after this one. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, part 2. Bye.